Welcome to Rhythm and Junction with Mark 75 here on ML Radio. This is the second episode of our Rhythm and Junction. For those who missed the very first episode, catch us up on all our social media platforms. Now, today we're dealing with quite a different topic, and that is pressure in the society. I'm joined by a guest that we're going to have an interaction. Hi.
Hi.
Who do I have?
Jamila Nantade, and a counselor by profession. I work with Munange Counseling Center, an organization that is found in Entebbe, specifically at Nkumba University. And I have now almost 6 years of experience in dealing with youths and adolescents.
We've actually made the perfect choice to have you in our show today, dealing with society pressure. Now, it has always been like a controversy to most of the people in society. Talk to me about society and pressure.
Okay, society pressure might be something that is not so much known to people, because normally we always know of peer pressure.
Okay.
But societal pressure is a bit different, because to tell you briefly, there are different types of pressure. There is also inner pressure, where someone influences themselves. So then peer pressure, where those people close to you influence you. So society pressure is a bit different, because for it entails a bigger circle compared to the first two pressures. Because society, when you look at society, it cuts across. It goes from you, it goes from your family, it goes from your nearby, the people near you, to a larger group of people. Yes, some may be known to you, some may not be known to you. So that is society. So society is large, it's like a community. So when you're faced with such pressure from people from different places, those people who might not even be close to you, that is society, because it's cutting across.
Maybe you break for us down, because we may not have to understand each and everything. Like if we talk of all gender, we are considering all gender, I believe, and it's something that disorganizes or affects each and everyone, clustering it in a society. Let's begin with fresh graduates.
It's so good you've noted it, that pressure cuts across. It's not focused on a group of people. It cuts across different types of groups of people, and as you've said, male and female, young and adult, everyone goes through the pressure. So when we start with the fresh graduates, of course, the society, after putting in a lot of money, after putting in a lot of hope in you, by the time you graduate at campus, they expect you to start bringing results, because at the end of the day, you find that mostly parents, they are like, I'm putting a lot in you, I'm sacrificing a lot, I'm even not putting on the best clothes just to make sure that I take you to campus. So before you join campus, like in primary, secondary, I don't see a lot of pressure, because the parents still believe that you're still young and they're supposed to cater for you. When you come to campus, it becomes a different story. They start seeing you as someone who is a bit older, and they expect to see you making progress, because they may not want you to ask each and everything from them.
And by the way, I think that is the most interesting part. Like immediately they push you out of campus. They will not even buy for you a piece of soap. Now, the thing is, like, how do you start?
Yes, that's a very good question. By the way, we face, being that I'm located in Nkumba University, and also being that I was once a student, I know what those students are going through. Because after parents knowing that now it's time for you to start catering for yourself, yet in actual sense, when someone graduates, they just graduate. There is nothing for them to start. So the pressure is felt there and then, even before. I can give a brief experience of me. Before graduation, like when I finished my final year, I went for internship. After internship, I was like, Jesus, what next? Because I was like, I don't even want to go back home, because I know they will be all looking at me.
Have they told you not to go back home?
No.
Or it was just something that came to your mind?
Something that came into my mind. But still, even at the end of the day, you notice it. Maybe your mother might not tell it to you, but you see things changing.
But parents always take their children home at whatever stage of life. Like They always welcomed home.
I would say that their pressure is not always negative. At times it's positive. It's to push you to at least get something, at least to start. Because they fear that when they just relax and just see you like that, and they're like, for us, you are fine. You ask them everything, they give you. You will not be pushed into moving on. Yet it's believed that after campus, you're supposed to move on, not just to stay there at home and do nothing.
So that is about those who finish campus, or those who complete campus. But again, you'll find that like when they've completed campus, there are other bits like maybe there are those who studied with loans. Did you ever come across like such friends, or just you, maybe some experience, kind of? How did you look at the whole thing?
In my profession, for the years I've been in counseling, I've come across a lot of young adults who are struggling. They have the papers, but they have nowhere to go. And most of them are even looking forward to getting a job, however small it might be, but at least first they're practicing what they studied. Secondly, they are getting something out of it. So those ones who are struggling, I've come across so many, and they tell you, they even tell you that for the years I've been studying, it's my uncle or my father's friend who has been paying the money, so I have to pay it back in this limited period of time. So it stresses them so much.
Now to the single people, what have you noticed about them? Are they free as such? Because they say that a single person is a free molecule.
From my experience, mostly the ladies are the ones that are so prone to the pressure. I've not seen so many young men struggling with being single. Because for them, they believe, actually most of them that I interact with, they tell you, Counselor, I'm still young. A man is supposed to settle at around 30 plus. So right now I'm supposed to look for the money so that by the time she comes in, there is money, there is everything that she needs.
But is it really possible, Counselor, if I'm to eject you, is it possible for you to have everything before you can marry?
It depends. It depends on how you juggle your cards. Yeah. We've seen CEOs under 30. Someone is below 30 years, but they have a lot of money. So it depends on how you carry on your life. Yeah.
So the ladies feel the weight so much.
Actually, I receive a lot of cases towards graduation. Okay. Most of my clients always come back. Even if I met them in year one, they're like, you know what, I've come to give you a follow-up of what I've been through. Finally, God has helped me. I'm graduating. I'm in the books. But now what? So I find most of them desperately looking for someone before they get out of campus, because they're like, I don't want to go back home and see they're going to start nagging me to look.
So what do they tell you? Desperately looking for someone. What do they tell you, and what makes them be desperately looking for someone?
It varies. Some are like, my friends are getting married.
Okay.
So I have to.
So there is that pressure of my friends are getting married.
Others are like, I have to, because I'm a woman. I finished school. School was the only thing that was keeping me from getting married. So it varies.
Then the single mothers?
When they're still young or a bit older, because being that I'm dealing so much with youths, though I cut across, I even meet those ones who are a bit older, but the youths that I've met that are single mothers, they're really desperate. When we go to the communities, you find a 15-year-old with a baby, and when she starts narrating you the story. Now, someone got me pregnant and he ran away, or he was in prison, so I'm just here. My parents are looking at me as someone who is a destitute, someone who has lost everything in life. So it's something that is really, really worrying.
But still, you've been able to put all that under control.
Yes, I always do. There is always a solution anywhere.
Rhythm and Junction with Macto 75 on ML Radio takes a very short break, and when we return, we have lots of conversations and discussions coming through.